watching me. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you know when I put more videos up or I am live. So I'm just going to get my glasses here, see who's on. Just waiting now. There's a little bit of a delay, so we're just going to wait 1 second. And see what happens here. There we go. So yes, don't forget to say hi. If you see me turn to the side, it's just that I am looking at the comments so I can say hi to you once in a while I'm doing a live. Hey, Randy. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Denise. Hey, Karen. All right, we got people watching. So we are going to get started. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, or whatever you're drinking today, and let's get stamping. So it's a little hot here in New York. So you can see I have a tank top on today. I'm loving this. This is one of the apparel shirts in my apparel store. It has the Stampersdelight logo on it. But definitely check out stampersdelightshop.com also. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Inga, Barbara. Thank you all. So I got a lot to go over tonight. It's going to be a little bit different than normal. First thing I want to do is tell you great, exciting news that was announced today, in case you didn't see it. And I apologize, my bangs are in my eyes here. Definitely need a haircut, just haven't found time to do that. So June 24th for 24 hours, Stampin' Up! Has a special going on, and it's free shipping. That's 10% savings. So order on June 24th, either online, stampersdelight.com, or contact me with your order, because that is only going to be good for 24 hours, and that is June 24th. I'm going to flip the camera now, and we're going to get started. Okay, so here's my host code for June. You want to use that if your order is less than $150. If it's more than $150, don't use that because you want to get the Hostess Rewards points, okay? All right, so we are going to move that out of the way. So the other thing I want to mention is I have announced my July online class, and that is in the description, or will be in the description below. And it is the Evergreen Elegance bundle. And you will get the bundle. You will get card kits to make 6 cards, 3 designs, 2 of each. This was just a sample card that I had done so that you could see what this punch does. Isn't that gorgeous? So don't forget to sign up by July 10th for that. If you joined my June online class, those went out today. So you will be getting those in the mail. Let me just straighten that out. Okay. Okay, so hey, Dorothy, Teresa. Dorothy is one of my team members. Okay, so what I'm going to do tonight is I am going to show you some new product, which is our soft pastel assortments. Now, we've had chalks in the past. These are a little bit different. Okay, I'm loving these. And I did have a little time to play with these yesterday before I went to a barbecue for Father's Day. It was so nice getting out and being with friends again. So these are our chalks, and the colors are on the back. You have Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Poppy Parade. So I'm going to show you how to play with these today. There's several different ways that you can use the chalks. And one of the ways, of course, is using our sponge daubers. Another way is using our water painters. They're filled with the water. You can use a blender pen. You can also use one of my favorites, which is makeup brushes, if you want to get really precise on the coloring, and I will show you that. And also you can use Q-tips. A lot of different things you can do with these. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, and I'm just going to bring in a piece of white cardstock because I think it's easier to see that. So in order to color, what I like to do, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you these. I take the chalks and I just, you know what, let me grab a piece of paper to put under this because they do get chalky. Okay. So I just put that on the paper like this, a couple different colors. You want some of that chalk. I mean, you can also color with them like this, but they're kind of large and you want to get some detail on them. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all the colors here so you can see this. So this is more like a technique class today. But I've been asked by a few people to play with these, so we are going to play with these today. And there's the different colors. Okay, so with that, we're just going to slide that over there because I want to use that. I'm going to bring in another piece of cardstock. And I am using today the Shaded Summer. I love this set. This is great for using the chalks. And first thing I'm going to do is just bring in one of the stamps that has some detail in it where I can color. Now I'm going to use Mossy Meadow because I want the green part of the leaves. I'm just inking, not inking it up on camera, but I'm inking this up. And I am just going to turn this around and I'm just going to stamp this right here. So there's, I don't really care about that image because I'm just going to show you how to do this, okay? So one of the ways you can use this, let's see, we'll start with the blender pen. Now, if you have a dry blender pen, which this one is a little dry, it's a little older, I urge you to keep one just for your chalks. You can just dip it into the Versamark and then pick up some of that color and then just color this. Okay, so I am just grabbing some of that color and using my blender pen. Now, I wouldn't use this again for anything else. Okay, just putting some color in there. You can blow a little bit of that off. And you can just add color as you want. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Okay. Another way of doing it is you can take a makeup brush. I actually have a lip brush here too, whichever one you have, or the Q-tip. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some, let's grab some purple. I did a video, and it is on YouTube, on how to do this with makeup, your leftover eyeshadow. And I'm just coloring that in. So I'm just dipping it in my color here and just swirling it around. You see that there's some chalk remnants left, but we're just going to tap that off when I'm done. Okay, so I'm just going to tap that off. And there's how you can use it with a blender, or with a makeup brush. Now let's grab some blue, and we'll use the Q-tip for that. And you can just go in here and add some color. Isn't that beautiful? So whichever way you decide to use it, the blender pens and a nice makeup brush gives you a little bit more precision. Okay, so there we have that. Okay, let's pick some up with some water. So I'm going to take our water painters, and I'm going to bring in some green. Now, I don't want it too wet. That's really wet, so I'm just going to take some off on my thing here. And it looks like, did I go out? Hopefully I'm still on. If it's buffering, I will be back on. I don't know what's up with the YouTube, but I'm going to keep recording. I'm going to pick up some of that with some color, and then I'm just blending it and painting it. Okay, so you can do that too. That gives it more of a watercolor effect. Okay, so Just looking to see if I'm still on here. I'm not sure what happened. Good old YouTube. All right, so I'm just going to pick this up. I am still recording, so if I did go off, you'll still be able to watch the replay. And there I'm just coloring it with the blender pens. Or the water pencils. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing this is I'm going to stamp the image again. And I'm just going to flip it around. There's my image again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sponge daubers. And I'm going to grab some of that chalk right here, swish it around, and just blend it in there. Now that gives it a soft, subtle tone, but it does go outside the lines. So we're just going to keep doing that. And you can see if I wanted to do another color, I would just clean this off or grab another one. I'll grab the blue so you can see it. And I'm just doing some blue here. Okay, and then let's grab some yellow. So that's the way it would look with blender pen, sponge daubers. So that's another way of doing it. Now, I'm not sure, don't know if this is still on. I'm hoping it is. It does look like I might be offline, so I'm just going to keep recording and then I'll upload it. I apologize, but lately YouTube is not my friend. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Now I'm going to do something else that's a lot of fun. And that is, let's move this out of the way for a second. So I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and you can take this spatula part and you can actually shave some of this off. This way you get a lot of color. And for this one, I want a lot of color. That's the purple. I'm going to go ahead and do some blue. And then let's grab some green. This gives you a lot of chalk. And let's go with some yellow. Okay, that should do it for now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp an image again. And for this one, I'll grab the same image just so you can see the difference. And I'm going to stamp that right in the middle, just like that. Now I'm going to bring in some of my blender brushes. Let me grab a few of those. So here I have the purple, and I'm just going to pick up and tap some of that chalk in there, tap a little of it off, and I can go in here and blend it up like that. So that's the purple. Just flick that off. I'm going to grab a blue brush and grab some of the blue. and just swirl some blue on here. Gives it a nice soft tone. And you can overlap those. Look at that. Let me grab a yellow. And we'll do this one. And there you have with the blender brushes. And you can just push that off. You can take a paper towel, or a Swiffer works great, and just get the extra off. Again, if this is not on YouTube, it will be uploaded on YouTube. Looks like they kicked me off. Okay, so that's with the blender brushes. So those are the different ways you can use it. Now I'm going to show you another thing that you can do with this, which I absolutely love. I am going to bring in, I'm just going to put this aside because I really want to use those colors. I'm going to bring in my Pretty Flowers embossing folder, and I am going to bring in a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to take my Versamark, and I am going to ink up my the Versamark to the embossing folder. I'm going to lay this down, and then I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine and to emboss. Okay, so I am embossing this with the colors. And here is my embossed image. Now it's tacky because it's got the Versamark on it, which is perfect for what I want to do next. I'm going to bring in those colors again, and I am going to just make sure there's nothing on there. I'm going to bring in my purple. Actually, I'm going to start with the lighter colors, the yellows, okay? And I'm going to add some color here. What this does is it keeps the chalk where it's supposed to be, and it gives it a little bit more color. So you can see I'm just going through here and adding some color. Now I have a little bit yellow left on here, so I'll grab that too. And maybe put it right in there. I'm going to grab my purple and do the larger one. Look at that. Look at how it pops. I'm going to just set that off a minute. And then let's bring in the blue. Look at that. You never know how, it's Poppin Pastels. You never know how that blue is going to come out. It depends on how much you have on your brush. I absolutely love this look. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a green, and I'm going to finish it off with some green. I like to start with the lighter colors and then go in with the darker colors. And I'm going to tap that off, and you have a beautiful background. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's put this on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that with a piece of Designer Series paper. So I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green, I think. Let's see if I like that. And this would layer right up on top of here. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab from our Color and Contour. I have a couple of pieces already cut. So let's see. I'm going to use this one. And I am going to go ahead and take this stamp again. I'm going to ink it up in the green, Mossy Meadow. Oh, that didn't work out too well, so let's flip that over. I can still use the other side. It's a little juicy. There we go. Now I'm going to go in and I am going to take my makeup brush. And I'm going to grab some of that purple and just go through this, just like I showed you before. Grab some blue. So I'm tying the colors in. And let's see, I need some yellow over here. So let's grab the yellow that I already have on this and just put some yellow in here. Real soft colors. Blow that off. And then I need a little green. So let's flip this over. And I might have to add a little more to this. Pick up the green. Just a nice soft color. Now I have this Q-tip, and I'm just going to go in there and try to get any of the loose stuff off. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer that right on top of here. So I'm going to bring this in. I have some samples to show you. I just wanted to do a couple of cards here. This one I'm going to go right here. Make sure this ends are down. And that's going to go right in there. But I want to put a sentiment on it. So I am going to put a thank you. Again, I'm going to bring in my, let's see. I'm going to bring in, instead of thank you, I think I'll do love you friend. I'm going to bring in the gorgeous grape. I'm going to stamp that. And I'm going to stamp that right down here. My head might be in the way. Love you friend. I'm going to bring in, let's see, some, what ribbon do I want? Maybe the fresh freesia. Yeah, because that's a pretty color to go with the green or the purple. I'm going to put that aside here. No worries about the other side because that's why we have two sides of cardstock. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit further. And bring that over. And then I am going to glue that down. So I am just gluing this down like that. Put that right there. I'm going to take my ribbon again and I'm going to tie a bow. And then I'm just going to trim off the ends. I'm going to bring in some glue dots. Now, our glue dots come in a roll. I'm just using my extras from my paper pumpkin. I'm going to grab a couple of those and I'm going to put those right here. Lay that right down there. Now I am going to trim that a little bit so you can see the sentiment. I'm going to grab another piece of white. And this sentiment, let's see. Some friendships are just meant to be. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in there. I am going to take this little sprig here, or sprig. I'm going to stamp it off twice, put it behind there, and then I'm going to add this onto here. I'm going to bring in some of our holiday rhinestones and put a couple of those on there. I'm going to grab the yellow because it's going to make that pop even more. And there we have a nice card for a friend. Okay. Nice little quick card for a friend. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am going to close these up. I'm going to bring in another color, which is our Misty Moonlight. And I'm not sure where my bone folder went to, so we're just going to use our finger. Do that. Now, I also cut this piece from our designer series paper, and I'm going to put a white background on that so you can see that it pops. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Again, if you're watching the replay of this, I apologize that the live cut me off. Me and technology, we just don't work. Okay, and we have this right here. Now I'm going to bring in this white, and I'm just going to put that around that ribbon. This is in our annual catalog. Put that white right around there. I used to get so upset when Facebook Live or YouTube Live would cut me off, but I've learned to live with it. What about you? Okay, let me go ahead and put that right on here. Okay, now let's bring in one of those flowers that we did. We already did this flower, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little fussy cutting here. I'm just going to cut this out. I'm just going to see if this works. I might not like it, but let's try it. No sense in making this go to waste. Let's cut that off. So I'm just doing a little bit of fussy cutting. I see I forgot a flower up there, so we're going to color that one in too. I'm just going to pull this away from the camera for a minute so I can finish cutting it. It's kind of hard for me to do it stretching my arm out here. So let's just cut this. I know some people don't like to fussy cut, but this one doesn't have any dies. Okay, and I'm just going to snip that off. This is going to go right here. For that, I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. Let me grab the larger ones. Take that off. Lay that right there. Okay, now also from the Color and Contour, I cut out one of the smaller pieces. We'll use this one. Just get rid of those little pieces that didn't fall out on their own. And this one I'm going to put right here. Well, actually, I think I might tuck it right up here. So let's do the happy birthday. Will the happy birthday fit in there? I believe it will. So I am going to grab my Misty Moonlight, rather. I'm going to go ahead and stamp happy birthday right there. And then again, this one I'm going to lay flat because this is already popped up. So let's just glue this one down. Put that one right there. I'm not even going to tie a bow. I'm just going to leave it like that. Again, I'm going to bring in those holiday gems, and I'm going to use the blue ones now. And then maybe two down here. The other thing I love about this is you can take your Wink of Stella and then just outline it or add some Wink of Stella to it and really make it shimmery and pop. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just where I colored it. And maybe some of the leaves. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it does have some shimmer to it. I might actually want to add a little more, so let me give it a little squeeze. This one's probably on its way out, which means I got to order more, and I will be ordering more since we have free shipping. There we go, adding a little more. I really like the shimmer on this. That one I forgot to color, so let me grab my little makeup brush. Let's use a little Poppy Parade. I don't know if I have enough there, but we're going to try it. Yeah, I do. Okay, we're adding a little Poppy Parade there. And then just add a little shimmer. Beautiful card. Any of your friends or family, happy birthday. And on the inside, let's see. This is really some friendship. I'm going to use a friendship one again. So I am going to grab, this is for a friend's birthday. Let me go ahead with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stamp again, but I'm not going to color it. I'm just going to ink it up and put it in the corner here. Just like that. So that will be the inside of my card. And then I'm just going to put that on the inside. And you have another beautiful card. So those are the two cards that I'm going to make. I do have a couple to show you, but one other thing I want to do, and I'm going to clean this off because this is really cool too. Here's another project or another way to use this. Let me grab this one, the larger one. I want this really clean when I do this. Okay, I think that's clean. I'm going to take a piece of cardstock again, and I'm going to use my Versamark. And I am going to stamp it this way. You might see a little bit of image. Then I'm going to come in this way. And then what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to grab some of that color. So I want a lot of color on this, so I am going to grab some of the blue because there's still blue left. I'm going to go ahead with my blender brush, and I am just going to go across this, just like that. Look at that. I'm going to tap that off, and then I'm going to bring in the green. So let me add a little more green here. Remember, this is the take your pick tool that I'm using, because it really does give me a lot of chalk, and that's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to go in here and just add the green. And that is actually Poppin Pastels right there. So many ways to use the pastels. You are going to love them. So I definitely would use that on a card. I'm going to put it aside. So here's the card that we did. Here's the other card that we did. Let me show you the other cards that I have. This is the same idea as this one. I really love the blue though. I used Coastal Cabana and the Grainy Apple Green in this one, but look how that pops out. And this is the Hostess Designer Series paper that you can get. Here's another one. This one is using the blender brushes and of course the background with the embossing folder. There'll be still shots tomorrow on my blog and on Facebook. Here we have this is the one I used with the blender pen. And you can see what I did here was I cut this piece out and it left this shell of a piece here. So I used that also. Okay. And then the last one that I had done was, of course, that same background as this. I used this from Encircled with Friendship. That's the die from there. I just stamped that, used my blender brushes, and then I added the Wink of Stella. That is Poppin Pastels. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you were watching me live, it cut me off, so please watch the replay. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you back here Friday morning at 7 a.m. on Facebook Live. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. Or a week, I should say, not a weekend. Oh, boy, it's Monday. Have a great week. I'll see you Friday morning on Facebook Live. Keep on stamping, Stampers. Bye.